Hello everyone. Let us look at the answers of the part 2. So question number 1, consumer attitudes and beliefs about the diet, health and the nutrition are influenced by cultural environment. It is economic environment, social environment, natural environment. These explanations are here. So there are micro effects as well. There are macro effects as well. Political, local, political leaning affects taxes and even the national it is. So I just don't focus on the micro and macro effects, but what are the aspects I will focus on? Economic environment is about the spending pattern of the customers directly impacting the majority of the sales and all in the national level. Also, cultural directly impacts the customer preferences in terms of which item they will or will not buy. So this is what your preferences, your diet habits, these all things are derived from the cultural aspect. So legal aspect speaks about the law, technology. So what about the technology you are using in the local level as well, even in the national level as well, and environmental or natural, these are purely related to the environment or geographical nature. So question number 2, indicate the ground on which the complaints under the Consumer Protection Act 1936 shall be invalid. So here, instead of going for the Consumer Protection Act 1936, I'll just go for the logical aspects. So which is illegal here? A product having short weight, obviously the mentioned weight should be there, and some of the products which are excluded here where after the packaging it loses its weight. Okay, for example, the fuel, the number of liters filled and number of the liters when you're taking out, it will be definitely different, and even some of the seats like that. Okay, so a service provided for free of the cost, whether it is illegal, obviously it is not. So this should be our answer. A misleading advertisement given in the newspaper which is illegal, so none of the above is invalid answer here. So service provided free of cost is the correct answer here, since it is invalid under the Consumer Protection Act 1936. Okay, so in fact under the Consumer Protection Act there are many things mentioned. I'll go for that in detail informations while I speak about the tomorrow's class. Question number 3, which of the following are the sources of the ethics? So in fact this question is incomplete. So religion, legal system, culture and family system are the sources of the ethics as it is mentioned by some of the reference book. Since this question is incomplete, the options whichever you have given, that will come like it is an incorrect answer in the mock test. So no need not to worry. First of all, what is ethics? Ethics in general refers to a system of the good and bad, moral and immoral, fair and unfair. It is a collection of codes of conduct and that are supposed to align behaves within the organization and the social framework. In short, we can say ethics is a group of the moral which says what is right, what is wrong, what to do and what not to, and how to behave and how not to. Question number 4, match the following. So here usually in the match the following questions, we're going to see few of the options. Okay, that you have to see the list 1 and list 2 both. Here I'll mention it like a political and legal environment. If you are not read this business environment properly, you will definitely get confused. Demographic environment, it is the feature of the population. So here also you should be specific, then only you will understand. Economic environment as well, you have to read it properly, then only you can understand. And geography and ecological environment, we know about that because in the name itself it says. So that means in the list 2, when you are looking at the options, option 3, I mean the number 3 related to natural resources are nothing but geography and ecological environment, right? So D3 should be our answer. So D3, there are 2 options. So 2, 4, 1, 3, option B and option D. So both mentions that D3 is the option, then after you are going to compare. Okay, so let's say I'll go for option D. So it says A1, political and legal environment. It is important for the industries directly depending on the imports and exports. Maybe it is related. It says B2, demographic features, whether it has the close relationship with the economic system and the economic policy. It doesn't has that close relationship. And C4, economic environment, whether it's occupational and mobilities of the population having implications for the business. Obviously none. And D3, geography and ecological environment, obviously we have seen. So option D may not be our correct answer. Let's look at the option B. So it says A2, so political and legal environment has the close relationship with the economic system and economic policy. B4, demographic environment is nothing but a feature of the population where occupational and the mobilities of the population having implication for the business. C1, economic environment is important for the industries and the businesses which directly depends on the import and exports. Okay, so any businesses depending on the imports and exports, so economic environment is very important for them. So D3, geographical and ecological environment related to the natural resources. Let me look at the last question. Is the flagship project of the government of India launched for generating the guaranteed employment in rural areas is known as. So Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana, which is announced in the year 1993, which offers the subsidized financial assistance. So this is not the employment guarantee scheme. Manrega Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005 gives the legal guarantee of the 100 days of the wage employment in a financial year to adult members of the rural household who demand the employment and are willing to do unskilled manual work. Jawahar Rozgar Yojana 1989. It is a merged scheme of the NREP and RLEGP started to generate the additional gainful employment for the unemployed and underemployed in the rural areas. And NREP 2006, the National Rural Employment Program, has been established in India to provide the employment in the rural areas, particularly in times of the drought and food scarcity. So here we have to identify JRY, Jawahar Rozgar Yojana. It is announced in the year 1989, where Manrega is announced in the year 2005. Always we have to go for the recent one. So NREP 2006 is once again announced, even though it is merged with the JRY in the year 1989. So that means NREP is already announced before 1989. So once again it is re-announced in the year 2006. But where we have to see, in year 2006, the NREP is particularly in the times of the drought and food scarcity, whereas Manrega, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005 is our answer. So for today's test, we have to look at the description box. You are having a link there, so click for that and attend the test.